It's your boy. We are back. We are back. Before we get into anything though, go down there. See, I'm learning with this new stuff, man. Go down there and click the like button, man, so it can help with the visibility of the channel. So over time, it can grow. All right. So go down there and hit that like button, or hit that dislike button, either too. That's cool too, because they both do the same thing. All right. So hit it, whichever one you want to hit. All right. I'm on my way. Where am I going? My way. I'm on my way home right now. After this, gotta get dressed, eat real quick, and hit the gym and put that work in. But let's get into it, man. So Lomancheko grew some nuts now. He thinks he's some kind of big boy, and he's screaming out how he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, which is interesting. You know, before people, you know, you have people like ESPN and everyone praising this kid and trying to make him out to be, you know, pound for pound the best fighter in the world, and he's the greatest since Ali and all that other stuff. I never said anything, because when it came to him, when somebody went up to him and asked him who was the best fighter in the world, he would always say Terence Crawford. You know, me personally, you know, I believe if Terence Crawford faces Earl Spence, Terence Crawford will lose that fight. But pound for pound right now, absolutely, he is the pound for pound, the best fighter in the world in Terence Crawford. Number two after that, you probably have to go with somebody like Canelo Alvarez, just because of his resume and the people that he's faced recently. You know, he did beat Danny Jacobs. He did beat Golovkin twice. Kind of got to give it up to him, you know. And we haven't seen him, you know, like Lomancheko, have to peel himself off the ground like Lomancheko did against Linares to win. We haven't seen him struggle against a mid-tier fight, you know, fight against someone, have issues with someone like a Pedraza. We haven't seen things like that. So, you know, I have to say those two are definitely top right there. And it's you know, you believe that you're pound for pound the best fighter in the world? Cool. You know, before everything was straight, never got onto this kid. You know, he had the chance to face Manny Pacquiao at, you know, 140 pounds. He said no to that. He said he's not facing Manny Pacquiao at any weight because, quote, Manny Pacquiao's too old. You know, that same Manny Pacquiao at 147 pounds had beat Adrian Broner. After that, took on Keith Thurman, and now is, you know, the WBA champion of the world. That Manny Pacquiao. That was Ali shuffling between rounds versus, you know, Keith Thurman, you know, going straight at him like it was nothing. That Manny Pacquiao was too old to face Lomancheko. You know. Okay. This is the same Lomancheko that when Terence Crawford was on his way to being undisputed, he said, hey, I'll take on Lomancheko at 137 pounds. I'm going to come all the way down to 137 pounds to take him on. And Lomancheko also said no to that. You know, because according to his team, it was a suicide mission. That's according to his team. There's no way in hell they would do it, because doing so would be a suicide mission. This is the guy that's, you know, now calling himself pound for pound the best fighter in the world. You know, since then, you know, his last fight, he faced an Uber driver who's been knocked out by other Uber drivers. Before that, he took on Pedraza, who we've seen tank at 130 pounds when Pedraza was undefeated. He was a champion and considered the best at that time, actually, in that weight class. Beat the bricks out of Pedraza and put his ass out and stop him. And Lomachenko's having issues and problems with that guy. Before that, we've seen him fight Linares, someone who's been seen get knocked out on multiple occasions. We've seen him get the bricks, you know, a beat out of him on multiple occasions. That Linares, we've seen him struggle with that Linares, and we've seen him get put on his ass by that Linares. Get put straight on his ass by that Linares. That's what we saw. But, you know, and he was losing that fight, actually, before catching Linares with a body shot and stopping Linares. Something that we've seen a whole bunch of other people do. So it's nothing special. Going life and death with that guy. But somehow that makes you, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. In his mind. You know, and now he's about to fight Campbell, somebody who lost to Linares. You know, went from Linares to Pedraza to a super Uber driver to Campbell, who we've seen lose to Linares while they're both fighting for this vacant belt. You know, that's who we're seeing him fight now, and somehow he's pound for pound number one. We've seen Terrence Crawford go undisputed at 140 pounds, and we've seen the performances that, you know, Terrence Crawford has put since he's gotten to 147 pounds. We've seen what Tank is doing to the level, basically the same level of competition as he's facing, you know, Lomancheko's facing right now. We've seen what Tank has been doing, you know, but somehow he's pound for pound number one, the best fighter in the world. Cool. I'm gonna go with you with that, man. I believe you, Lomancheko. I absolutely believe you. I believe that you're number one pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, and I want to see you prove it to everybody. I want you to shut everybody up that's saying you're not pound for pound the best in the world, because you are. You're number one pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. We've seen fighters like Marquez go from 118 all the way to 147 pounds, take on the best and beat them. We've seen him stop Manny Pacquiao, you know, the fighter that you refused to fight. You know, we've seen Floyd Mayweather go from 135 pounds all the way up to 154 pounds. Floyd Mayweather went up so high in weight. For 147 pound bouts, he was weighing in at 147 pounds 2 months before the fight. Basically, he was fighting at his walk-around weight. You know, he's the only fighter I used to always see, you know, before, you know, pre-weigh-in press conferences, you know, when they would talk with, you know, in the back with, you know, different reporters. He'd be over there with a bottle of water in his hand, drinking water. Only person would have a bottle of water. So while everybody's all dried up, dehydrated, trying to make weight, drinking a bottle of water. He used to weigh 150 pounds for 154 bouts. He could wake up in the morning, he could eat, he could drink, he could do everything normal, and then weigh in, and still weighing only at 150 pounds. And the next day still come in, wake up in the morning, 147 pounds and under. That's what he used to do, right? And you're pound for pound number one, the best fighter in the world. We see Miguel Cotto go from 135, 140 all the way to 160. We've seen Shane Mosley go from 135 all the way up to 154 pounds. You know, so far you've moved up from, 126 to 135. He's only moved up 9 pounds. He hasn't moved up anything crazy. You know, a couple of, quote, weight divisions, but there's an itty-bitty weight division where it's 3-4 pounds between weights. There's nothing. He's moved up 9 pounds. Terrence Crawford went from, 135 all the way up to 147. That's 12 pounds, right? That's 12 pounds that he's moved up, right? So, you know, we see Mikey Garcia go from 130, what was it, 130? 130, 135, all the way up to 147. You know, got belts at 135, also got belts at 140. Was also a 140-pound champion. You know? So, let's see you show how pound for pound number one you are. You got Ramirez, who's a unified champion, who just beat Hooker and is holding 2 of the belts right now. I believe the WBC and I believe the IBF. I could be wrong with that though, but I believe it's the IBF. He's holding both those belts right now. He's signed the top rank. Go up to 140 and face him. You know, Lomachenko's a guy that 2 weeks out, you know, from his fight was weighing in at 141 pounds for his next fight. A month out, he was weighing in over 144 pounds. Technically, if you put him in a Floyd Mayweather type of situation, he should have no issue going all the way up to 147 pounds to face a Manny Pacquiao. He should have no issue going up to 147 pounds to face a Danny Garcia. I'm not even talking about the big boys. I'm not even talking about the killers. He should have no issue doing that. There should be no issue for him to go up to 140 pounds. This guy that's a month out is 144 pounds, to go up to 140 pounds and face a Ramirez, who has 2 of the belts. You know, you got Rougarou, who's about to take on Josh Taylor for a unification bout. Once he wins that, then he has no issue, but, you know, he should have no issue going up against him and going for undisputed in that weight class. There should be no problem and no issue with that. You know? Should have no problem and no issue with that. You're going to now claim and try to take that spot, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna claim that this is what you are now? Earn that. You know, show us. You know, because now you're putting that onus on yourself. You're putting those expectations now on you. Now it's not other people putting the expectation on you. It's you putting that expectation on yourself now. So let's see you do what Marquez did. Let's see you do what Manny Pacquiao did. Let's see you do what Floyd Mayweather did. Let's see you do what Shane Mosley did. Let's see you do what Miguel Cotto did. You know, these are all just, you know, the generation before you. We've seen Adrian Broner go from 135, about to hit a school bus, 135 all to 147 pounds and get a belt. We see him do that. He jumped up a weight class and got a belt at 147 pounds. You know? So let's see your greatness. Don't talk about it. You find these super bums trying to get this easy undisputed at 140 pounds against these bums. You're literally fighting for unified, you know, you're fighting for a vacant belt right now against somebody who we've seen already get his ass kicked on multiple occasions. This guy is nothing, and we all know that he's nothing. This is a guy, if he faced Gervonta Tank Davis, would last 3 rounds, and Gervonta Tank Davis would get absolutely no credit for it. 0. None. The guy Gervonta Tank Davis just faced last could have faced the guy that Lomancheko just faced, and that guy would not last 3 rounds versus the guy that Gervonta Tank Davis just faced. Nobody cares about that, you know. But somehow Lomancheko, he's so great. It's time to show us your greatness, man. Show us how great you are. Take on Ramirez, fight for those 2 belts, and by fighting for those 2 belts, go ahead and fight for Undisputed versus Ruguru, because he's going to beat the bricks out of Taylor and stop his ass in the UK. That's what's happening with that situation. You know? So, show us. Show us you about that life. Stop talking about it. Okay? Don't talk about it like these people have been doing it. You know, all this privilege that you seem to get. You know, where everybody else, they have to reach the clouds in order to get any kind of respect. But in certain fighters, you know, they can lay on their backs, point their noses up, and they're the greatest of all time. They've already reached the limits that they need to reach. Okay? So, you're the greatest. You're pound for pound number 1. Back it up and show us what you're about. If not, shut the fuck up. Because you also have another choice. I'm sure Terence Crawford can make for 140 pounds right now if he could get a fight against you. You know, the guy that you didn't want to fight. You can go up to 147, fight him. You can do a catch weight, fight him at 144 pounds, fight him at 145 pounds. Floyd Mayweather had a 15-plus weight disadvantage against Canelo Alvarez when he faced him. 15-plus weight disadvantage against Miguel Cotto, against Oscar De La Hoya, against Maidana, Victor Ortiz, Shane Mosley. You know? And the list actually goes on and on and on. You know? So, you about that life? Show us. Stop talking about it. Life of the privileged must be swell.